Hello, class. Today we'll be talking about the Spinosaurus, the unsung king of the dinosaurs. Now, I know what you're thinking. When someone says king of the dinosaurs, you're thinking of this, or this. But in reality, it was the Spinosaurus, who was the largest carnivorous predator of all the dinosaurs. Like, it was the largest one on land. Uh, the only thing that limits the Spinosaurus and its recognition is because it's hard to find a complete set of skeletal bones. It's just hard for the paleontologists to piece them all together. So they're not going to come out and say, "Oh, this is this," because they don't really know. Because it's hard for them to get all of them together to see what it looks like. But it was just recently discovered, and they put together a whole set, and it ended up being huge. Like, it ended up being bigger than the Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Spinosaurus roamed the Earth during the late Cretaceous period. Some say it was like 98 to 95 million years ago, which is also a long time, and that also limits the amount of skeletal things that they can have. The also thing that would discount the Spinosaurus is that its name is spiny lizard, which isn't that fear-inducing when you hear it, as just like the Tyrannosaurus Rex means king of the dinosaurs. So when you see your spiny lizard, you think of just something small crawling on the ground, and you can't really respect that very much. But it's called a spiny lizard because it has this large fin on the back, and it has this. It adds 5 or 6 feet to the actual dinosaur, so it adds a good bit. It's a big sale. Another unique thing about the Spinosaurus that separates it from the Tyrannosaurus Rex is it could walk on all fours if it needed to. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, as we all know, has those small arms that don't really do anything, whereas the Spinosaurus has longer, stronger arms that could support its body, so it could stalk its prey or silently approach it to take it by surprise, because everybody hypothesizes that it was more of a sneak predator versus just a Tyrannosaurus Rex who just runs in and bites and leaves and everything. It is also they say that it could walk on all fours because its arms are actually longer than some other animals that walk on all fours, in comparison to its body. So it's a huge it's a huge thing to say that it is actually a walks on all fours. The Spinosaurus measured 46 feet long as its height, which is really long in comparison to Tyrannosaurus Rex was only 42 feet long. So just in that, it made it larger. And it also weighed 7.4 tons, which is actually slightly smaller than Tyrannosaurus Rex, who came in weighing at 7.5 tons. So as far as weight goes, they're about the same, and as far as height goes, about the same. But the Spinosaurus was indeed the larger one, the more muscular one. The Spinosaurus was 14 feet tall without its sail, and adding the sail, it was 15 to 20 feet tall. The Tyrannosaurus Rex came in at an average of 15 to 20 feet. So if you took away the sail of the Spinosaurus, it would be smaller. But you can't really take away the sail, because the sail was what makes the Spinosaurus exactly who he is. Okay, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex was bulkier, I believe. Just had all of his weight in one area, whereas the Spinosaurus was more smooth and muscular. the the spiny sail, like I was saying, it was the is it like the biggest part, like the draw of it is what like separates it from everything else. Because without the sail, it just looked like a generic dinosaur. But with the sail, it would like that's what all the paleontologists look for, because it is such a unique feature that has, because not a lot of carnivores have anything like that. the the sail could have various reasons for being there. One of the reasons is to control its body temperature, because they believe that the sail had like such like thin skin on it and blood vessels that the it could absorb heat really easily. So if it ever got cold or anything, it could it's like absorb heat to that sail and it'd heat up its entire body. It is believed that it was riddled with blood cells that like it could absorb heat really quickly and hold it in its sail. So it could, if it ever got cold at night, it could still be warm. Now, another thing that they're saying that the sail is good for is for mating purposes, like how a peacock has like big feathers. The Spinosaurus would have that big sail, and that would like attract a mate and show its sexual maturity. Like having a big sail means that it's older, and that it could that is older and would be a more likely mate. And another thing they think that the sail does is like a defensive mechanism, which I never really thought of. But it could like if it felt threatened by another predator or something, it could like hunch over and make the sail like bigger, and it would frighten off any potential predators or anything, because it would look like it became larger, and the predator would just stop trying to get it. Now, the other big factor about the Spinosaurus is that its skull is so big. Its skull is said to be like a crocodile skull, which is like really long in comparison to its body, and that is another big distinguishing feature. And that skull is actually, they think that the skull is it leads them to believe that it could like go after like fish and stuff, just like a crocodile would. And with the skull, it was 5 feet long, which is the largest skull of any carnivorous dinosaur. But what they believe from like also known about the skull is like in it had like these cone teeth, like a crocodile has, and that led them to believe that it was a like a more of a fish eater, or like a surprise attack a predator, because unlike like a T-Rex, it did like a T-Rex has serrated teeth, whereas the Spinosaurus has the cone teeth, and which is easier for like fishing or like surprising like fish and stuff to eat it, just like a crocodile does today. And this also leads them to believe that the Spinosaurus has like had like 2 lives almost. It could live on ground and survive and eat smaller animals, or it could swim and like live in the water for a very long time. And it could, like a crocodile, like cover its eyes with like a thin covering, so it could see in the water and attack fish and smaller dinosaurs that were in the water. And even though its size was imposing, it was unlikely that it attacked larger dinosaurs like a Tyrannosaurus Rex would. But if it had to fight, it could, because it had like these long sharp claws and these teeth that could even though they weren't serrated, they were still sharp, and they could defend itself. Okay, that is all for today. I hope that you come away with learning more about the true king of the dinosaurs, the Spinosaurus rex.